Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer. Today I have some updates to share with you guys. So YouTube allowed me to tag products, and I'm not going to tag just any product, but products that I truly believe in. And I have a couple of things to show you guys, and I do have something to read. But first, I did want to explain because you may have noticed that on some of my videos, it will have a little shopping thing at the bottom. And that just means that you're welcome to buy the product if you wish. This is absolutely my favorite t-shirt. I really should get more than one because I want to wear this all the time. I love this one because it's army green and it really called me and it really pulled me. It's iron sharpens iron and I love to wear it, and I love to have that Bible verse loud and proud on my chest, and it's army green and I feel like I'm a soldier for Christ. And if you do follow my Instagram account, you'll notice that I have been posting a lot of my times at the gym, and that is for the sole purpose to motivate you guys. I am 100% committed. I go Monday through Friday, and if I miss a day, I double up or I go on a Saturday. But my physical wellness is so important to me because it really helps my mind. The body just happens to follow, and I just look better, be stronger, and everything. But really, lifting weights is for the mind. It really unlocks the pharmacy in our mind. It unlocks all those happy chemicals and that we absolutely need to feel motivated, alive, inspired, strong. So I will be tagging these things that I'm talking about, but I did want to explain it to you guys. I think it's something that, it's the future. It's the way the world is going. And as I've mentioned before in the past, is that I stopped hating on social media. I stopped hating on the internet, and we have to be on here to encourage each other, right? It says it in the Bible that we must encourage each other. So the T-shirt is linked on there, and then oh man, this is what I'm so excited about. This is what I'm most excited about. So I'm a huge annotator in my Bible. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but there's constant writing, and I use these pencils because they have a very sharp uh, tip, and I write all over my Bible. I have these tags and I annotate all over it. I am not afraid to write on my Bible because that's the way that I learn. It's how things process in my mind. If I don't underline, and sometimes like I'll annotate on the side of what this passage means to me or something that it reminded me of, and man, sometimes I don't have enough space here that I have to get my journal and write what God is speaking to me through here, because history tends to repeat itself. I'm sure you have noticed, if you have dived deep in the Bible and God has spoken to you, because this is living word. This is God's way of connecting to us. You will notice that some of the stories in the Bible are a reflection of what you are going through. I have noticed that so much, and I can't help but feel a strength. And one of my favorite prophets is Isaiah. He is just so amazing. I feel that he was so strong, and I feel that I I at least want to relate to him. I want to be like him, and I'm very much a masculine woman. If you guys know me by now, you know I grew up with three biological brothers, so it took me a little while to kind of soften up and be more in my feminine. And uh, but the point of this is to tell you guys that you're welcome to make any of these purchases. Please do not feel like you have to, or I'm being pushy about it at all. I just am having a little fun with YouTube, and it's offering for me to add it on here, and I'm only going to add the stuff that truly benefits me in my life and the things that I love, and the things like these. Oh my gosh, okay, I have not even showed you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So these gel highlighters, They're Bible highlighters. And I was so hesitant to buy highlighters because I did not want it to leak through my Bible. If you use a regular highlighter, no bueno. So these are gel highlighters. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys how it works, but let me show you my favorite color. It's purple. So they look like this, and there's like a ton of gel. So these are made out of gel, and you can highlight. Let me just show you guys. I will just highlight a random little place here. You see that? It's highlighted. And then if I flip it to the other side of the page, it won't leak through. Like you can't see it. You see that? It's right there. The purple. It doesn't show. So these are the coolest invention, and don't be afraid to write and highlight and do whatever you want in the Bible, because I at first was like, oh, this is such a special thing, I can't write in it. But I was like, I could just buy another one, like journals. I have so many different journals that I have written throughout the years. I just buy a new one. And if my daughters ever see my Bible, they'll get to read everything and it'll touch them even more. And so I wanted to explain all of that to you guys. But here's a quote that I read today. And it really, really struck a chord for me. And it goes like this. Well, first of all, God says that it's better for us to be single, right? And you guys, if you watched any of my other videos, I have said that this world is a couple's world. And it makes us single people feel like we don't belong, like there's something wrong with us. And people are always trying to set us up with in a relationship, and like if there's something wrong with us. But in the Bible, it says that it's better for us to remain single so that we can serve the Lord and we can do his works. And to me, that is the most beautiful thing that you can do as a human being, is to love and serve the Lord. Because once you have that as the center of your universe, everything else just falls into place. It's harder to uh, do the world, live in the world, get married, have kids, and then later try to fit God into that plan, because a lot of things can go wrong with your partner. Like you have to be equally yoked. That just means that you marry someone that has the same values as you do, that has put God first, foremost, at the center of their universe, so that you guys can have Jesus Christ in the middle of your relationship, where he will counsel you both. He will guide you both. He will love on you both. He will whisper in your husband's ear on how to speak to you. And did you know that if you're married and you're watching this, did you know that you are supposed to study your wife? You are supposed to know her way better than you know your job. It says it in the Bible. I'm not going to read the verse for you, because I do encourage you to read the Bible for yourself. So now I'm going to go to this quote that really struck a chord with me. It said, learn to be happy alone. So when someone does come along, you are able to recognize if they are adding value or if they are taking your peace. If you don't learn how to be alone and you find your value and your identity in someone else choosing you, well, that person is flawed and they are so imperfect. They are going to let you down. They are going to make mistakes. And if you make anyone the source of your happiness, you will are automatically guarantee it's a guarantee that you will be unhappy for the rest of your life. No one should bear that burden of having to keep you happy. Have you guys ever dated an overbearing person, that they depended on you for their happiness, and they did not really like when you had a life outside of them, and they would get really upset if you really can't do anything. You sort of live in a bubble. They start to try to isolate you. Like, you can't have friends. You can't be like, you just can't have a life outside of them, period. And that is so draining. And I've seen it happen. I have seen that happen a lot in my girlfriend relationships. I have some female friends that confide in me, and I'm like, yeah, that person really needs to find the Lord, and it is not your job to save them or to fix them. God did not give us that task. He gave us the task to love and serve Him, and everything else is going to be added on to us. So if you learn to be alone and you have your relationship solid with Christ, and you have the peace that surpasses all human understanding, that it's this supernatural peace and supernatural joy. And if someone comes into your life and messes with that, messes with your relationship with Christ, then you know that that's not the right person. The right person is going to strengthen your relationship with Christ, or isn't going to mess with it. And I'm also not saying that the relationship is going to be perfect to where there's never going to be bad times, but they're going to be adding value to you. That they aren't going to rob you from peace. Now, there could be arguments and, things that will like cause a rift in your peace, but they won't drain your peace. And if they do drain your peace, they're quick to give it back. Because a person that is healthy, whole, and complete, and has their identity in who God says that they are, they understand that they are to add value. We have to add value in a relationship. And I specifically say this to my ladies. In the world, we're taught, it's a little messed up actually, the way the world works. It's become very toxic. Like, there's been a lot of toxic feminism, which I do not agree with. I think women are trying to play equal to man in areas of life and society that they should not try to play equal to man, because there's a reason why a man exists, is because we need him. And when women try to become equal to the man in all areas of life, we emasculate the man. We give them no room to flourish and to be there for us. And then women become overworked, tired, and because you're taking on too much. Women are trying to be like men, but we're not designed for that. So we're going to get burnt out. We're going to become bitter. We're going to become resentful and controlling and tough, but it's out of our nature. So then we become these ugly, nasty women who are angry and resentful and tired and belittling men, and it just becomes really bad, really toxic. The feminism movement, I get it. It started from a good place. It started from a woman wanting to have a voice and be empowered and to be respected. I get that. I think all of that is good. All of that is absolutely needed, but it just went too far one way. So then there's also the toxic feminism that they expect for the man to do everything. And like when women go out on dates and she expects the man to pay for everything and she has to do nothing. Well, I'm sorry, but usually men in the world, they're going to expect something. And women, like, and this is just talking people that don't have God in their heart. They're very susceptible to these dynamics. Okay? So I'm not talking about people that have God in their hearts. I think that people that have God in their hearts operate in a different way. So if you have God in your heart and you're out there in the world and you're dating someone that's not equally yoked to you? Because this is a question that I get a lot. I met someone, but they don't believe in Christ. They don't love Christ for that matter. And they don't really go to church, but they're open to it. Now, I'm just going to say tread carefully because I do believe that God can work through you to get to them. But you have to understand how hard it was for you to even get here to this place, or maybe you were born into it, but there's no guarantee. It's more likely not going to work, but there is a chance. There's always hope because God is an amazing God. But I like to think realistically. I don't like to think in fantasy world and lie to myself and just tell myself the lie because I want to believe that, because that's what makes me feel good. I have to tell myself a lot of ugly truths and they feel awful, but they are the truth and the truth will set you free. So when I get this question, well, this person's not really of God, and if I was talking to myself, I would say, nah, I would just keep him as a friend and maybe a distant friend, not hang out too much with this person, because my relationship with Christ is my number one. It is the being that I am so in love with, that I'm so committed to. I would not want anyone, I don't care who they are, I would not want that person to come and jeopardize or threaten my my branch. Jesus is my vine and I'm his branch, and he is in me and I am in him. And anyone that tries to come into my life and separate me from him, more likely that person is going to get the boot. Kindly. I won't be mean or ugly about it, but I just won't pay too much attention to that person unless the Lord calls me to uh, be around them and minister to them if that's what I feel like I'm called to do. I'm not here to hate on people, guys. I feel like I have to say that all the time because I mean, I can't control what people hear, right? Sometimes I say stuff and people hear it completely different, but my heart is in Christ and I seek Christ every single day. So my words always come from a good place, and you may not always agree with me, and I think that that's okay. I think that's healthy to also to never ever 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 put a human being up on a pedestal. Only Christ belongs on a pedestal. We're just here to learn and to encourage each other to follow him. So back with people dating in the world, or people of God dating ungodly people. So what happens in the world is so women don't feel like they need to bring value at all to a man, and that the man should, spend all his resources and time and pay for this and pay for that. And she just sits back and does nothing and expects everything. And, or the broken woman would feel that she now has to give her body because, well, he's already purchased all of these things for her, that well, she only has one thing of value, and that's her body. A lot of these women in the world have that lie. They have bought into the enemy's lie that their only worth and value is their body, and they have nothing else to offer. So then it becomes this very toxic place to live in. And there's so many broken hearts happening because of this mentality and this way of functioning. But if you are a woman of God, you understand that you have to be of value. You have to add value to the man as well, assuming that he's a good, respectable, godly man that is treating you well, and you feel the green flag, the green light to allow yourself to be pursued. Then offer to maybe pay for the coffee this time, or maybe you plan the date, or maybe he buys the movie tickets and then you offer to buy the popcorn, and it keep it more on that friendship level so that you don't feel that you owe anyone anything, but respect the man. Show him that you appreciate his time and you appreciate his hard earned money that he has worked so hard and he's choosing to spend it on you. See, a lot of women that I see living in the world, they treat men like garbage. They don't value them. And this is where the cycle of pain and hurt uh, like occurs, and then that man becomes angry and resentful towards all women, and then the hate against the opposite sex begins, and it's war on the internet about how all women suck, and they're all gold diggers, and they're all selfish and entitled, and they just use me. And then women are like, all men cheat, all men, like this toxicity that goes on in the world. So the only thing you can do is pull back, pull way back from the world and start going really close to God and have Him minister to you. Say, God, this is a crazy world that we live in. Show me the way. Please bring me good, godly people in my life. I need to see your light in other people. I need to see the fruit that you have grown in other people. Please bring me the friends that I need that really truly love you. Because, guys, the more you are entangled in the world, the more gloomy it's going to seem, the more hopeless it's going to feel. You're going to feel like you're around nothing but people that have a heart of stone. And you have to be careful with who you hang out with. It's also an instruction in the Bible that you have to be careful with who you hang out with. You will become that of which you are constantly around. So be wise and choose the people that love God, because they are going to know how to treat you and how to love you and respect you. Respect is so important. And the way I also see the world now, when you are walking with God, is you want to be respectable in every place that you walk in, especially in the gym. Ladies, you have to understand that less is more. Like, cover your entire body up from like neck all the way down to your ankle and wear long sleeves. There's nothing wrong with that. That is way better than showing up in a bra, because you have to be realistic and know that a man's weakness is in his eyes, and you don't want to draw that attention to you. You don't want to tempt the man. Now I understand why in is it the air in Iran they wear the hijab. I find it to be the most honorable, beautiful thing. Now, I don't I wouldn't want to wear one every single day because I'm not used to that. But I think it is so beautiful that the women cover their entire body and they only show their eyes because they don't want to be a temptress, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but they honor and they love their man so much that they don't want any other man looking at them in that way. And they are so sacred to their husband, and they are so committed and respectable to their husband that he's the only one that gets to see her and enjoy her. And I have, as a kid, I was like, that is so weird. I don't understand that. It's so hot out, especially if you live in a warmer climate. But once I really understood the meaning behind that, I really fell in love with it. So I encourage my sisters here to, be more militant, be more the tough chick, and cover up, and really be a Proverbs 31 woman, where beauty is fleeting, But she that praises the Lord, she that loves the Lord will be praised. Like, people will respect you more for who you are than what you look like. And you will love yourself more for growing in love with God than making yourself up with all these fake things that we tend to do to ourselves out in society to get the approval of other human beings. You're never going to be good enough for human beings. You're never going to be perfect. Someone's always going to find a flaw in you. The people are cruel. They can be very cruel. And we cannot base our self-esteem in the opinions or the thoughts of any other human being. The only being that we should really care about is God's opinion and his approval of us. And I hope that this video served you. And again, this video started off by explaining these things that I can tag that I find to be very valuable, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm about to purchase a long sleeve shirt like this. I love this symbol too. Oh my gosh, guess what? I discovered my last name. I remembered this. So my last name is Almaguer. That's Almaguer. And it if you break it down in Espanol, alma means soul, and guer is from guerra, from war. So we're soul warriors. And this shirt draws me so much. And I'm like, yes, I am a soul warrior. I want to save souls. I want to raise souls and hand them over to Christ so that he could breathe life into these souls. Because the way he breathed life into me, he raised me out of the dead. And so I was really proud that God made me the way that I am and gave me my last name, because that is exactly who I am proud to be. I want to be this militant woman that builds her mind and the body follows, and I want to be like a soldier. And so I love wearing army green, and I love wearing the shirt, and I love lifting weights because it makes me strong in who he has called me to be. Okay, follow my channel if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.